Firefly's voice met Colt's mind as we were at the gate. What is happening? We saw Sleipnir's condition. Colt gave a question with just his face. Firefly's face was firm. I have my best attending him, but I fear he may lose all his vision, but he should heal, though. I know a stallion without his sight rarely lives by his own hand. My brother is strong in body and mind, he shall live. Firefly took a deep breath. Nevertheless, what is going on? What are those people doing? Colt looked toward the gate, giving her all the details silently. They're not people, at least not anymore. They are all without life, but still breathe. Firefly spoke. Abira is standing by me. He wishes to speak words to you, but how is this even possible? Colt spoke back to her through his chain of flame. I'm not sure. I'm sure it has to do with Threepwood. They don't seem to be able to harm unless we harm them first. They do try to cause a reaction with their screams and coming at you, but they won't touch you till you touch them. I don't think they are much of a threat for now. Alpha came up almost in a stroll from below from the closest medic tent. What do you suggest we do now? It seems quiet, unmerciful to leave them this way. Colt looked to him. He seemed eager to hear what was to be done. Colt looked over his shoulder to them. I'm not sure much can be done at the moment. I say we leave them be till we find Threepwood. Then we will let them rest in the fires where they belong. Alpha looked to the gate himself. They may become a threat in time. We are unsure why they behave the way they do, and that can easily change without warning, causing more death. If I may try something, I do have a suspicion. Colt looked to him, nodding. In return, Alpha nodded to one of his pack. It was the young boy. He looked no more than 12. He was looking serious as he looked to Alpha for a final acknowledgement, which Alpha gave. Going toward the gate, the group began to hiss and scream as we watched. The boy was unaffected. He stood there a moment, analyzing each of them. Then he found one close that caught his attention. It was an older man, rotted thin, almost a carcass, and scratched up from new wounds, clearly given from wolves. With a flash, the boy grabbed its arm, falling backwards. He flipped the old man over his body, and through the air the man's body flew over the young man's. But as it left the gateway, it screeched, then silence, as it turned to ash, as it floated down over the boy. Some embers, the boy brushed from his clothes, standing at the other, screaming death breathers, looking to Alpha, as Alpha spoke up. Easy enough, some of the men good with ropes can finish them, while we move on. How did they disappear so quickly? There's not even bones left. I spoke, going to the pile of ash that had outlined the boy's body where it had been laying. Colt seemed uninterested for the most part. He went over to the boy. What's your name, Cub? The boy, still wiping the ash from his black wolf's fur, a white wolf was next to him as well. Blood Eye. Colt noticed the boy was blind himself in one eye. I have you to thank for my brother's life. I owe you a great debt. The boy looked up rather calmly, wasn't trying to, was just taking out one of them, just so happened he was in my way. Colt smiled. This little one reminded him of Alpha, if he was young. Nevertheless, we shall speak later. The boy just went back to cleaning his wolf. Colt went toward Alpha. We need to pass along the word. If anyone caused any harm to the death breathers, they need to fall back and help here. We shall take the second wave with us and be sure to cause no harm to anything they come across. That will only leave the third wave, the deer people, and a few sea, and we don't even know the consequences of that. And after seeing the gate just now, I should go with you to prove its safety. Firefly spoke to him, but Colt could hear Abira's thunder of a voice from about. Firefly. Absolutely not. Colt spoke through the chain to her. Hopefully we won't need the third wave, and the deer tribe is the best healers we have. Stay in the camp, and we will be sending any wounded we come across. They will need you most here, Firefly agreed. Abira asked for her to pass on his words. The pride is in the second wave. Let me come with you. Tell Father I need him there. If the second wave fails, I need a leader that can take control of everyone for one final push. You will be the last hope. Abira was unhappy but agreed. Firefly went to spread the word about the leaders. Alpha looked to Colt. I think you're being unwise. Why do you think that? Alpha yawned slightly, scratching his neck. chancing too many. We don't know what is up ahead, but we know we cleared the area of the town of them for the most part, but something killed those people in great numbers. We should go figure that out before bringing more in to a concentrated area." "What do you suggest, then?" "Take a few of my pack that caused no harm along with me, and let us go find out the cause, then bring the lions in after." "All right, seems sensible enough." "I wish to go to." Henry walked up holding to Furnius's doctor bag. "I know my way around the area. I think I could help." "Good enough," Colt spoke. We walked past the death breathers on foot. We didn't want to take chances on any horses stumbling across one, but it put a chill through me as they screeched in our ears as we passed them. You could almost feel them touching you only inches away. Colt held to me. Alpha and 10 of his pack was behind us with Henry. We made it back to town where all the dead laid from both sides. A few of the death breathers were still in the town. Alpha pulled out a knife, looking down to a body of a townsperson laying in the middle of the dusty street. Its neck ripped out, black blood seeped from the wound like tar. "How do we know those things won't come after us, even if one's already dead?" One of the wolves spoke up. "Might as well figure that out now." Alpha looked to Colt, who agreed, so Alpha threw his knife down into its body. It was a woman, couldn't tell much about her, other than her pink dress with white dots upon it and her brown hair. Alpha looked around. Don't seem they care about the dead. So Alpha bent down, balancing on the balls of his boots as we watched, cutting her from neck to navel. I couldn't help but blur my eyes. Colt looked on with no expression, as Alpha stuck his hands in, pulling out parts, then others, slinging his hands from the black, letting out a cracking cough as he talked. "Well, easy enough to see what they died from." Alpha washed his hands in the dirt, followed by a pack member pouring water over his hands. "What was it?" I asked. Alpha looked up, seemingly puzzled. "Seen a lot of it in past battles as a cub. These people died of starvation and dehydration." "All of them?" Colt looked to the bodies around us. "Not all at the same time. It was done at different times, which means some people watched others die slowly, waiting their turn to begin. If they needed food, they never asked." I spoke out again, so confused. "Trust me, Mare, if it was true starvation, there wouldn't have been as many bodies to find. Look around us. The windows are filled with rotted foods. Some still good. There was snow and rain, plenty if boiled. No, something else took place here." I did look around, and it was true. I could see hams in the butcher's window with sausages, cakes in another window, pickle barrels, apple barrels, all still with food. What had happened? Just then one of the wolves spoke up. "Hey, this one's alive." We looked over to the pack member. He stood by. Meal, she was breathing with a rasp. We walked over to her. Henry went to her, bending to her, holding up her head in his lap, putting pressure on her neck. "Hey, Doc, we need you." Furnius took over. "Oh my." He held to her neck. Colt bent to her. "Threepwood, do you really not know where he is?" She coughed out. "It's me now. He's not in me now? So do you know where he's at?" Tears in her eyes. No, blood was seeping from the corner of her mouth. "She needs medical badly, but I don't think she can be moved back to camp. Thankfully, I have my bag. I will stay with her and keep her stable." She looked up, Henry. Furnius smiled while pulling from the bag a syringe. "This will help her pain." "It's you." She cracked out. She was getting weaker. "Yes, and thankfully I was here to help you, but you are the one to thank for that, my dear." As he placed the needle in her neck, gently as possible, she slowly closed her eyes and fell asleep. "You all should continue. Henry and I stay with her till others come." Alpha looked to him. "I'll leave 3 of my pack. It should be enough, in case trouble comes up, and I'll send a message to get her moved with another." "Thank you. I'm just sorry I have to keep Henry here." "Nothing can be done to help that. We will continue on. Catch up if you can. We will be headed toward the hospital first, or at least what's left of it." The Colt looked to the few death breathers while talking to the pack that was staying. "Keep a close eye on them. I don't trust that they are completely harmless, but don't let them fool you into throwing the first hit either." The men nodded, almost smirking about such an easy fight, but something just didn't seem to be adding up. Nevertheless, we had to move on with little time to think, and that always seemed to be the plan of the Harltzes. We continued to walk on, past the point of seeing the others. We left behind, passing store after store. The smell of rotted food made me queasy.